There's a lot of things that have me worried right now. Kugisaki is definitely damaged. I don't think she's gonna be dead. Like, I don't think she's gonna die out of this fight, but I think there's gonna be some permanent damage to her character. Not so much as like to make her bad. I think in the long run it'll probably make her a lot more intricate, but there's definitely going to be some pain on her part, even if she survives this arc. There's always the possibility that she could die. I don't think so, but I think that after this she's going to have some form of emotional kind of drawback from this arc, because like this chapter starts out like we already know the way that her power is working really well against Mahito. It has a counter to his abilities, and Yuji just finds the opening to start laying into Mahito, just starts dropping a complete and total like myriad of fists, just one after another, pounding the hell out of him. And that's when the two Mahitos start making like way to each other. They start running, and well, primarily the main one. That main one definitely makes the, well, no, sorry, the secondary one. The main one, the one that was fighting Yuji, doesn't seem to make nearly as much of a run in distance. Like the other one, like runs at least probably like a couple of blocks, or the one that's fighting Yuji, it looks like he just kind of runs across the room. But during this, like, Yuji's trying to chase him, he's like trying to sense the cursed energy, which one is the right Mahito he has to destroy, and he goes accidentally for a decoy, one that Mahito put cursed energy into just so he'd notice him first. And then the two Mahitos will start running back to each other. I thought it was going to be that the two of them were going to re-merge. They're going to combine back into one Mahito and end up being way more powerful than obviously either of the two individually. But what we ended up getting was that they kind of pretty much did like a tag swap. And for a moment I was like, well, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just why wouldn't they just merge back together? But it's because they wanted to like mess with the two of them, because one thing about that we know of is the one that was fighting Yuji was the one that was able to do the transfiguring of souls and bodies and stuff. And so them swapping probably saves them time, and it also probably will catch them out like completely off guard, because if Kugisaki's version, like, she knew it as like this one couldn't really do that power on her, she would end up just being like not nearly as in a threatened position with one of their hands coming near her. But right then you see just Mahito's hand swipe by and seemingly touch her. He says a direct hit, but like it obviously not the same as it's not the same as like her whole body is just going to be completely morphed and she's like big gross creature now. But she touches her face and you could tell there's something wrong. And what I was talking about earlier is I think she's going to have some form of permanent defect, like some form of maybe mutation almost to her face, and she'll probably start covering it for a while, because we do know that Kugisaki definitely takes pride in her looks. She takes pride in, you know, in her beauty, and having this probably going to be something that really disgusts her for a while. It's going to be really interesting for her character to see how she takes this and like where she goes from here. I'm guessing she's gonna grow her hair out to like cover part of her face, or maybe she'll wear part of a mask, because if this damage is done to her, like, I don't really know how they would plan to undo it. They would need some form of like reversal, like full reversal ability, to the point of being able to undo cursed base alterations. But it's still in the realm of possibilities, but I think whatever happens to her is going to kind of stay that way, because this arc is definitely one where things just keep getting more and more like in the favor of them going through agony. I mean, like, even if they somehow get Sukuna back, or sorry, they get Satoru back and don't let Sukuna out, they're so much closer to that already, and like they've already lost so much that getting Satoru back, I don't think that they would just like directly get him out of the box, but I think that they will retrieve his box. And like they've already lost multiple big people, and they've already like got so much damage, and I think that it would still be kind of like a really bad position for any of these characters even involved just walking out of this. Like, anybody that lives is going to go through some trauma, and I know it looks like the chapter sets up Kukisaki's backstory. We're gonna get a flashback with her. Like, there's a part where she's like just 6 years old playing like Super Smash Bros. And I think hers is gonna be kind of interesting. I don't expect hers to be like outrageously complex. I think hers just has to have something that makes us like her character a little bit more. Have something that's to kind of be like, now we can kind of understand Kukisaki a little bit extra, and we're now gonna like really witness whatever happens to her next, because I think she's gonna unlock her expansion. I think similar to I think very similar to Megumi, it's gonna be not complete. It's gonna be like a partial version. But I think if the author is going to have her suffer like this, like something that is permanently altering her physical form, and we know, like I said, we know that that's gonna bother her. If you paid attention to her character going like up to this, you know that she definitely cares about her appearance. And I think that this is going to really rattle that, and we could get some very, I think maybe more of like self-reflection, because I think you can't really say maturity, because I think the fact that she really took pride in how she was and she really appreciated herself, that was already really mature. Because she didn't do it in like Kukisaki's never came off as like a horrible person. She just seemed to come off like in that idea of really appreciating yourself, not like some super vain person that you know, values beauty above everything else, or like only sees themselves. She just was like, I'm me, and I love me, and I think she was just in a good like a much more positive state. And I think that's going to get rattled a bit. I really do. I think there's going to be definitely some shaking of her character up and coming for, you know, whatever's after this arc. Because we're definitely in this role. What is this, like part 47 or 50 something? 42 of the Shibuya incident. I'm actually curious how much longer it's going to be, because there's not a lot left. Like, you have the brain invader that's in Geto's body, and you have Mahito. I think that's it. I think that's the only people like left on the enemy side. I mean, they could still get away with Satoru. As long as Satoru doesn't die, I think his character's in a pretty fair spot, because I don't think anybody wants him to die. I'm sure there are people that don't like his character because he's so OP, but I got what the author was doing by making this almost one-man army who affects the whole world just by existing. And I think that we're gonna get a lot more build towards how bad it is that he's gone as this goes, because we already saw multiple criminals come out within what, a couple, like an hour or so of like Satoru sealed up. I think there's going to be a lot of bad people starting to come out of the shadows now, so I can't wait to see how the aftermath of all this goes, because it definitely includes, like I said, the Kukisaki stuff, and I really want to see how she takes this. I'm hoping like whatever happens to her face isn't so severe. It's just maybe a little unsightly, and it's that slight kind of tick that will like tick away from like her face that will kind of drive however she takes this, like how bad it's gonna be. I don't think it needs to be like some gross like putrid creature, but I think just like some like facial warping would be really enough to really open up a lot of interesting character development for Kukisaki. But anyway, other than that, comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this chapter, and what your thoughts are about like what exactly is going on, and what you think really her character is going to be going through after this point. But other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, for the like button, subscribe, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everybody who's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.